Got it. Good call. See me picking my teeth right at the beginning there. All right.
Nice. Welcome, everybody, to episode 387 of the Two Gomers podcast. This is Anthony speaking, one of those two aforementioned Gomers, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Steven, all the way out in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen, wie
It's not.
geht's?
Oh, it's not good morning for you. Shoot.
Oh, yeah, it's 1:36. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good. What does Truman say?
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
If I don't see you later,
Yeah.
good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Right.
We're talking about good mornings, though, on this one.
Yeah, dude, this one, I think it's going to be helpful, practical, and I mean, something that we all do, right? Everybody wakes up.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You got to wake up. It's just how you wake
Maybe,
up.
you know that book, Everyone Poops?
Uh huh.
I wonder if they could make that a series, like Everyone Blank.
Oh, that's
Everyone
a good
goes to
idea.
sleep. Everyone wakes up. This is $1 million idea.
Everyone pees.
Uh huh.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a little close to everyone poops, but still.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, everyone eats.
Yep.
Everyone breathes.
Yeah, I think I don't know if you can quite capture the magic of everyone
No.
poops in those other
No.
ones.
And it wouldn't
They
fit in
just
Dan in real life quite as well.
right. There's just something truly special about
Yeah.
everyone poops.
Right.
Yeah, well, you're right. Everyone gets up in the morning, and that's what we're going to be talking about. You're not a morning person?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, there's, I did some research. I accessed my 5 wing, right? I can't
Mm-hmm.
help it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to share a picture with you at the very beginning of the core
Okay, great.
of somebody's morning routine that I found to be Cran's dream worthy.
Too much.
Just like
Too much for
something
you
that,
to handle.
yeah, just too overwhelming.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that. But as I was researching, I saw this book, or maybe it was a talk, Tim Ferriss, Win the Morning, Win the Day.
Okay.
You know, people are
Yeah.
always talking about the morning is the most important, like getting a good start. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
essentially perfect title, honestly. Win the morning, win the day.
Yeah.
Uh, but I have never been naturally that. Like getting up
Right.
is an upstream practice for me. Staying
Mm-hmm.
up until 4 a.m., that's a downstream practice. That's easy. I
Incredible.
mean, that is actually getting harder as I get older.
Right. 4 a.m. That's a
Yeah.
little bit much. But what about like midnight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, last night I was thinking,
Mm,
what if I went to, because I was near a movie theater. I was like, what
uh-huh.
if I went to Oppenheimer again and it was like 10:30?
Holy cow.
And
That
I
is a
was like,
4 a.m. thing you're talking about here with
right.
travel.
But, you know, I actually was like, it's too late. And that wouldn't have been the case 10 years ago,
Right. Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, if I did that, that would annihilate me for the week.
Yeah, yeah,
I would be
yeah.
recovering
Right.
until next Monday.
Right. Totally.
Yeah. I think I kind of I used to have this theory that when you're in college, everyone's a night person,
Uh-huh.
right? Nobody really wants to get up. Everyone wants to stay up late because that's what
Yep.
everyone else is doing.
Uh-huh.
And then you're not able to really figure out if you're a night person or a morning person until after that. I don't know
Sure.
if that's completely true, but it took some detoxing from my staying up all night stuff to become a
Oh
morning
yeah.
person.
Well, I mean, college, me and Chad, the Chad, rooming together,
Right.
I've told the story many times where we had racquetball in the
Mm-hmm.
mornings.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was like who's gonna wake up latest in order to make it just in time for racquetball.
Oh,
And you would
right.
hit that point. It was like the class was 6:45 or something. Chad would, I guarantee, remember. But let's say it was 6:45 and it was at the surf, which was 4-minute walk from our dorm,
Okay.
and they didn't let you in if you were late. So you could wake up at 6:40, roll out of bed, put your racquetball clothes on, and get there. But
Yeah.
if you hit 6:41, then you might as well just keep sleeping.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
What's the use? Yep.
Yeah. So I wasn't a morning person then. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think kids had a huge part of me becoming a morning person for sure.
Mm,
Is
yeah.
I just was naturally tired at night,
Yep.
and we just had to work on their schedule. Nothing like having somebody else's schedule to work around, and
Oh,
them
it just
being 0 years old.
yeah, the morning as a dad or a mom just slaps you in the face. Right? Like
I
it is
know.
coming. It is
Yeah.
coming. And actually, we need to have an evening routine. Now
Oh,
that I'm thinking about this.
I think this is a series,
Okay.
and here's my pitch. The series is have a good morning,
Yeah.
have a good evening,
Uh-huh.
and take good breaks. Is my series of 3.
Nice. Okay.
Maybe it should just be the Truman.
Yeah. Sure. Afternoon
Good
could
afternoon, good
be
evening, and good night. Afternoon could be
what
break. I mean, yeah, I actually think you can be a lot healthier if you take a good afternoon break.
yeah, we could do a snack episode. Afternoon
Siesta,
snack. We could do yeah,
nap.
nap time. Yeah. Oh, I've never done naps. I've probably had 10 naps in my life. I mean, except for when I was a kid.
What about when you're watching League of Their Own?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Weren't those early dad days though? My movies to sleep to.
Yeah.
I think those were yeah. Okay, I forgot about those. The I mean, Hunt for Red October still
Mm-hmm.
best nap movie because it's got that that chorus and the darkness of
Right.
the submarines. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that, but
By the time Sean Connery starts speaking English, you're out.
yeah, just lulls
Good
me to
night.
sleep. Totally.
Again, the kid haze is going on there, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
were those naps, or were they just necessary to survive? You're catching a
Uh-huh.
50, what is it? 50 winks, 30 winks, 40 winks. I think that's
40
what we
winks,
say.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whenever you
Mm.
can. Yeah, it hardly even counts those
Uh-huh.
early child days with your life and any semblance of this is what I do and what I'm like. No.
Uh-huh. Well, and that's the thing. If life doesn't care whether you're a morning person or not life, but kids don't care if you're a morning person or a night person,
Well,
right?
neither does life.
Yeah,
The sun
yeah, life
always comes out at, like, it's always morning.
totally. You're absolutely right. And
All right.
there was evening and there was morning,
The
the
day,
sixth day. Yeah, the day.
the 387th day,
Yep.
the millionth day. Okay. Well, this is what we're talking about. Having a good morning. We're going to specifically talk about morning routine when we get into the core.
Yep.
We're going to in just a second go to baby step of the week, where we talk about a small step we've taken toward our health. Then the core is about good morning routine, and then we'll end like we do every week with what's giving us life this week, and of course a ton of fun stuff along the way. But first, here on the Two Gomers podcast, we have big goals, but we know that they start small. Getting to those goals start small. So this is Baby Step. Baby steps.
Hold on, I'm coughing. All right, baby.
Baby step.
All right, here we are in the baby step of the week.
Hello.
I think I went first last time, dude. Do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, but I'm a little nervous. Mine is paint related.
Ooh, okay.
And so I don't want to steal your thunder. Because I know you guys have been
pivot.
painting.
Yeah, I was gonna do a Gomer's favorite thing about that.
Oh,
About
okay. So maybe we can
house
bookend
stuff.
these things with paint stuff.
Good idea. Okay, I love it. I'll do my Gomer's favorite thing. I was gonna do something totally different. I forgot about that. So why don't you start with your paint thing, and then I'll do my little tip about that same similar thing.
Okay, settle down, nation. I know you're on the edge of your seat, waiting for us to talk about paint.
Oh man!
So here we go. It's actually an update from a couple episodes ago. I was talking about we're doing this. We had this big project over the summer, tearing out some cabinets in our music room, moving those to the garage. It just was a huge ordeal all summer. So I had to refloor, recarpet, do the trim, move electrical outlets. It was a whole thing. But
Mhm.
a big part of that was painting. And
Yeah, yeah.
when we got done painting this room about a week ago, we realized we have painted every wall and ceiling in our entire home.
Dang.
I asked Jessica how many gallons, and I counted down 3, 2, 1. We have to say the number. We thought how many gallons of paint we've used. 3, 2,
Uh-huh.
1, and we both said 50 gallons of paint we've used
Oh, whoa, dude.
in the last 2 years. So
Uh-huh.
this is kind of going to become a theme of mine. I think I like to talk about the end result of baby steps.
Yeah, I like it.
So 50 gallons of paint and every wall and ceiling in your house, if you think about it like that, is like forget that crap.
Oh my, I mean, I remember when we moved into our current house
Mm-hmm.
and the weekend before we moved in, we told some friends, yeah, we're going to paint every room in the house. And they started laughing.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, because I've painted before. We've done
sure.
accent walls and we've done little things here and there, but they laughed. And then we painted our first 2 rooms. And then I got why they laughed because I
Yeah.
was exhausted. My back hurt, my
Oh
neck
yeah.
hurt, right?
Everything.
Like, just,
My elbow. You wouldn't
yeah,
believe what it does to your elbow.
I know, dude.
So you're right. It's one of those things. Is like, how hard could that be? But then there's like corners and windowsills and trim and
Oh,
doors
yeah.
and prep,
Multiple coats
cleanup.
on coats.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
cleanup.
multiple coats. You're moving furniture around. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want to say to people is that the baby step for us was one room at a time, and it took
Mm.
2 years
Okay.
to paint the whole house. I think that, and we haven't even started on the outside, which also needs paint.
Mm.
So there's this, I don't know, once in a while I'm like, that was a huge job, and we just worked steadily on it, and it's done. Baby steps, bro.
Baby
People are going to
steps.
be hearing this same thing from me over and over again, I think, where it's just like, and I have a big one coming up in September. I can't wait to talk about baby steps
Mm.
equaling a big goal. But I think if we just are like baby steps and we never talk about how it accomplished something, we're missing out. And so we're done. We painted our done. We're done with this job. We painted our
Never
entire
done.
house, every wall and ceiling and trim, and we went through 50 gallons of paint, 1 gallon and one room at a time.
Dang. That really is a marathon,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's
Yes.
that's chopping it up into bite-sized pieces, right? How do you eat a
Mm-hmm.
horse? Isn't that a phrase?
I thought it was an elephant.
Oh, an elephant. Yeah. Okay, the horse. That was weird. Sorry. How do you
I
eat
guess
an
I
elephant?
guess you could use it for any animal,
What was it? I'm
any
so
beast of
hungry I can
burden.
eat. Right, yeah. Uh yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about overwhelming tasks,
Uh-huh.
and I do think Aaron and I have been talking about capacity a lot lately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, just people have different mental capacities, physical capacities for things.
Yeah.
I think you and I, this is one place where we differ. Where if I have an entire room to do like
Yeah.
work like you did, my whole life falls apart. Like I can do one or two things at a time, and I just think there's some crazy capacity you have for that kind of stuff. Because I'm like, I didn't even know that you did that, and you always know when I have a big project. Because I'm like, bro, I'm dying over here.
Well, and you send me so many pictures.
Dude, here's a picture of the room mid paint.
Yeah. Well, I like to
Most of
see
that,
it.
yeah, yeah, no,
But
most,
I,
yeah.
I think that probably some of that has to do with the amount of work we've had to do on this house. And so
Hmm.
it's like if I was texting every time we're doing a big project, you'd be like, okay, I get
I
it.
get. I would love more though. I'd love more befores and afters. Is
Okay. We are thinking now that we have almost every room in the house pretty much where we want it to
yep.
go back to the pictures that the seller posted
Mm.
and put those pictures next to current pictures. It's a different house.
Uh huh.
So it's nice to remember that, but it was baby steps the entire time.
Right. Do you still have another person living there, or do you still have that suite?
We're
That's
we're we're completing the suite. The person that was living here isn't anymore, and so we're
okay.
completing it. That's our next big thing to open that
Okay.
up to other people. Yep.
Got it. Okay. We hadn't talked about that in a while either.
Yeah. Yep. It's happening, but it takes a while. But once in a while you're like, oh, we did it.
Yeah, that rules, dude. One step at a time.
I'll show you a picture of the music room maybe before we're done here so you can see what it
Oh,
looks like.
sweet.
It's great.
Okay, awesome. Maybe take if we weren't connected to all these apparatusi,
Mm.
apparati, what
It's
apparatuses?
one of those. I think it is apparatuses.
Okay, there's just so many chords to recording a podcast.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you could take me on a tour,
That's
like a
true.
virtual tour for the podcast.
That's right. Maybe we will
Dang
do
it.
that someday. I'll figure it out.
Okay, cool.
All right,
I mean,
baby
back
step
when
for
we used
you.
to just talk into the dot, the first season.
Yeah, there were benefits to that, I guess.
Yeah, dude.
You got a baby step?
Yes. Or actually, I'll go from there. Yeah, dude. Okay. I have a quick baby step. So before you paint, you got to move that furniture. This is more of a. It's not a baby step. It's something. This is like a Gomer's favorite thing, but it goes with that.
Okay,
Which
just
is
attach it right. Tag this onto mine.
okay. It's the little plastic furniture movers. I texted you a picture of us moving our stuff.
Yep.
But they're available, I'm sure, at Home Depot and Lowe's, maybe Target. But we had to move because we moved Lily into her own room. The guest room became her room, and now Isla has her own room. And so some of their furniture is really heavy, like this bookcase, this 9x9 bookcase filled with everything from board books, for little kids through the Harry Potter series and
right.
Keeper of the Lost City, which Lily's been loving those, and Amulet and
Amulet. Oh my gosh, Amulet.
Yeah, Lily will email you.
Goosebumps.
Oh yeah.
And the boys loved Amulet.
Oh, nice.
Oh boy, I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's actually what Isla's reading right now. So Lily just finished Keeper of the Lost Cities for like the 7th time.
That's how it works.
Yep, totally. She loves it. Anyways, but this bookshelf, the amount of work it would have taken to move this bookshelf without these.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know how to weigh this thing. Hundreds and hundreds of books. Everybody knows what a bookshelf is, except it's also heavy wood. You know what I mean? We have some bookshelves like the one behind you that are just, a thin piece of wood and a,
Yep, like a ladder bookshelf or something. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it took both of us all of our energy to put it on the furniture movers.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you well know this, but we've got it on those furniture movers. Now, luckily we have wall-to-wall carpeting, just like Rudy's girlfriend wanted him to have at the beginning of Rudy. So that makes it super easy to just move heavy furniture anywhere.
Yeah. But you know what? It's the step you took is that you didn't try to do, like, you figured out how is this going to be made easier. You bought the thing, and then all of a sudden you can do the job.
Yeah, totally. And actually, we didn't buy those. We bought those years and years ago, and the kids have been using them as carpet skates for years. We had to find them. They're all over the place. So they also double as a fun carpet skate for kids.
Yeah. Well, there you go. 2 for 1.
Yep.
All right, bro. Love it. Should we head into the core?
Let's do it. All right, let's clap.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. All right. Oh, hold on. Adobe Flash. No, I hate it when this happens. Adobe Flash starts opening up randomly.
Oh, weird.
For like 5 minutes.
No,
baby
good.
step. Delete that crap.
Delete
I don't
Flash
know how
off
to.
your computer.
I know. Is that old school or what?
Flash. Yes, it is. Flash. He's got coming up on his computer.
I mean, I haven't updated my computer in like 6 years, only because I only use it for the podcast, and only because I don't want GarageBand to not work like I like it to work.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And apparently you want to watch episodes of Homestar Runner, so you need Flash on your computer.
Exactly, dude. All right,
All
let's
right.
go. Hey, how's it going over there? You know, I heard somebody say once, win the morning, win the day. I hope that's not copyrighted. If it is, Tim Ferriss, it's all you. You're the self-help
Trademark.
guru. Oh shoot. Okay, cheers, mate.
Good morning. Good morning. You played in the pit for that, not pit. Your orchestra played with that musical, right?
Yep.
Singing in the rain.
That guy. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all shining faces.
What? Who was that guy? I haven't thought about this for a long time.
This is the way to start
a new day. Good morning,
everybody.
What is that?
That was the guy on our European tour.
Oh,
on the bus.
Yeah. It was our tour guide. Yeah. He would come in and he would sing that little song, that little ditty to us every morning. Great guy. I wonder what his name was. Do you remember his name? Chad would.
The Chad, text us, dude. Maybe I bet my dad would. I bet he would remember.
Or might have record of it somewhere.
A pay stub.
Yep. All right. Well, good morning to you, nation. You might be listening to this in the morning. I wonder if anybody wakes up to the dulcet tones of the Gomers.
Oh, I mean, possibly.
Yeah. So we were wanting to do this, and like I said, I wanted to be serious. I wanted to talk about evening and afternoon too. But what better place to start than the morning?
Even though in Hebrew the day starts at night.
That's right.
But that's okay.
Right. For me, it starts in the morning. Sorry.
Biblical times.
Sorry, Bible. So I would say I'm excited to talk about this one because I think there was a real turn in my life when I started focusing on making my mornings healthier. Healthier isn't probably even the term I would have used. More purposeful, more root. And you know me, nation, it all comes down to routine. So setting a routine in the morning has had a huge impact on my life. I think it's more than that, but for me, it does come down to routine.
Yeah. Routine, habits, all the things that we can't get enough of. We love doing them. We love talking about them. We love trying new ones.
Yep.
We love hoping that we find that perfect one, that then our life's perfect.
Yep.
Just rolls out easy.
Now I like doing them over and 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 over for years and years and never changing them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, okay. I got you. Well, you know, I was talking to Hack. We had coffee in the morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Ooh, coffee. That's a morning thing.
I have coffee on here that I want to talk about.
Oh, good. Okay. We'll get to coffee.
Okay.
He and I talked about how we love to try new life hacks. You know, it's almost like can be an addiction. Okay, I'm going to try this journal. I'm going to try that journal. I'm going to try this, you know, way of setting my routine, you know.
Right.
And I think that is a part of our modern culture is somehow if we can get that life hack all set up, we're going to live that abundant life we've been craving. You know what I mean? And I like instead, I want to find one and stick with it. And I have some as well. Because I do wake up every day.
Good job.
Day I wake up.
Okay.
That's a habit we have done every day of our lives.
Have you ever slept through an entire day?
Nope. I have not gone to sleep. I've pulled all-nighters.
Yeah.
So I'm wrong.
That's for sure. Oh, I see what you mean. You didn't actually wake up that day because you were already awake.
Days that I haven't woken up, which means there have been days I haven't gone to sleep. But in general,
I would say 99.999% of our lives we've woken up in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, or we've woken up in the day.
Maybe if you were sick too.
That's, I guess, there have been days I've been in bed all day because I've been sick.
Yep.
And I tell you what, that sucks.
It's not all it's cracked up to be. We've talked about lay down days, sick days. I mean, missing out on stuff sometimes is cool. You know, like when you don't have to go to school, But
Yep.
then, there's a day like that when I didn't go to school and I stayed at my grandparents' house, and then that was the day the Challenger exploded. So- Sorry.
Sometimes, Nation, he's telling a story. I don't know where it's going.
Sorry.
And then the Challenger explodes.
But that's
You're
what
s-
happened. I'm sorry.
well, no, yeah, you can't hide the fact that that's what happened. So I guess what I'm wondering is, would you have preferred to be at school?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have been by myself. I mean, I was
That's true.
by,
That is sad, bro.
no joke. I was watching it on the TV,
Huh?
and my grandpa was gone, and my grandpa wasn't home, and then my grandma went to the grocery store.
Yeah.
She
And so
was gone. I
your
ran.
grandma wasn't even there, and you're watching
No,
it
I was.
explode.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, let that be a lesson to you, Nation. You should wake up and go to school.
Go to school.
I mean, I know that you should wake up feels kind of simple, but like there is kind of truth to that, where what I feel like this whole thing for me is about how to wake up well,
Yeah.
so that the rest of your day is healthier than if you didn't wake up well.
Absolutely.
I did some research.
Sweet.
You ready for this? The National Institute of Health says that a good morning or consistent morning routine can do the following: reduce stress, boost your energy levels, improve your productivity, combat forgetfulness. That was an interesting one to me.
Yeah.
And then I added this one: help you feel in control of your day instead of the other way around.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So I think those are the health benefits that I've experienced by having a routine, a good routine in the morning that I have found with trial and error, but eventually I found the one that works for me and I've stuck with it. Doing that has helped me. I've experienced all those things. I am less when I don't, and I can tell this because when I don't do it, these things happen. I'm more stressed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel off the rails in a lot of ways.
Yep.
And I can't get back on. Logy, lazy.
Ooh, Logie, that's a good one. Yeah, just headache all day.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
gross.
yeah, I mean, I can remember, Krause, me and Krause, like when we'd have sleepovers, why were we always all sleeping over at each other's houses?
Well, as if that has ever ended or will end. I'm coming out to Oregon for a sleepover next week.
Right, exactly.
Well, I'm coming to
Sweet.
Bend and we're going to have a sleepover.
But then we're going to utilize some of these morning routines and we're going to go on a sweet hike, dude.
Oh, yeah. And I've got to run when I'm there because I need to mark it off my list, states I've run in.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. So maybe on that hike, we can do some running.
That would be amazing. That would be enough for me to mark it off my list, just to do some running for part of the time.
Okay. We'll incorporate some running on this hike. I told you about this. I'm taking you on a hike that I've done before.
Yeah.
Because every hike I've done that's been significant out in Oregon, I've been with somebody that either knew where they were going or lived there.
That's a good call. I mean? Yep.
And maybe it'd be fun to just do a totally brand new one.
No, I like this. What I want to see on this sleepover trip is some of the things that you've found that are special to you. I just like seeing parts of your life like that. So please take me on one you've been on before.
Oh, shoot. You there?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Are we back?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
We're here.
Okay, great.
Clap one more time just in case.
Good idea.
1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. It's more
hopefully it'll get back to it.
They're doing a FaceTime call right behind.
Okay, that's fine.
So you said do things that are special to you. I'll take it from there.
So okay, and then we can move back into it. Sleepovers is what we were talking about. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, dude, I can't wait. But I remember doing sleepovers and the next day there's no morning routine. It's so depressing.
Oh
I mean,
no.
it's
Yep.
also really fun, but
Yeah.
I remember many sleepovers for breakfast. Me and Krause would have Melio's / Big Mike's because it would be around 11:30 or noon.
These are submarine sandwich shops that he's listing
Uh huh.
here.
Like, I
So
mean,
for
that is a way to
your
save money,
breakfast,
I
you're eating a
guess.
sub.
Well, yeah, because that's when we were getting up, and
Yep.
instead of coffee, we're having Dr. Slice or
Yeah,
Coke.
Dr.
You
Thunder,
know,
if you're lucky.
yeah, right. What? Yeah. So those were not good morning routines. Although they were, in some ways, it would be neat to live one of those days again, like when we were talking about Wayne's World.
Yeah,
Just one day in the '90s again.
sure. But I think I'd probably
With
be ready to come back after one day.
Oh, I mean, if I went back to the '90s, I was constantly dehydrated, had headaches all the time, sort of depressed. I mean, actually, but also I was silly and motivated and a dreamer, all those things too.
Right. Yep. It's a real mixed bag. I mean,
You were a
he's
mixed bag, dude.
just getting over that Challenger explosion.
Oh,
So I would say a bad routine is no routine, right? When it comes to the morning.
well, okay, that's interesting that you say that because everybody has habits and routines, right? We do
Right.
the
Yep.
same crap. You
Sure.
know what I mean? So the argument for that would be we all have a morning routine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just is it working for you? Is it
Mm-hmm.
giving life? Is it setting you up to have a great day?
Yeah, and are you conscious of it? So I
Right.
think for me, if I wake up and just get to work,
Oh.
I know, doesn't that sound
Oh.
awful?
Oh, here. This would be a good time for me to send you that.
Okay, he's got a picture he wants to send me. I would my finished sentence that finished sentence is if either I just get to work or if I just do nothing and I'm not
Oh,
conscious of any routine, my day sucks.
sure.
But I want to see this picture. Are you
Yep.
texting it
Sorry,
to me?
I interrupted you there. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I just sent you a picture. So I was looking at
Holy cow.
so
What he sent me is some sort of list by the minute. I mean, I gotta tell you, something in my heart leapt when I saw it.
oh
But
really? Okay.
yes.
Wow. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. The Crans Dream Morning that I saw
Uh-huh.
this guy on medium.com.
Mm,
I was just researching morning routines of people. And
mm-hmm.
okay. So yeah, maybe this backfired because you might love this. He has, so from 4:30 a.m. to 7 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
minute by minute planned.
Yes.
And but I mean, for example, 25 minutes. So show up at the gym at 6:05 and then go home at 6:30 and then make smoothies at 6:35 and then empty the dishwasher at 6:45. It's like where this to me looks so overstructured that it
Yeah.
like you
There's
you're
no
at the
margin.
gym. Yeah, you're at the gym for 25 minutes, but there's when did you change?
When
When
did you
did you
drive?
Yeah, when did you drive? When did you work out? Uh yeah, it just
It's a little much, that's for sure.
like but I did find it interesting, and I think this goes to your point. At
Mm-hmm.
4:40 a.m. he started doing some work, so he's doing email,
Yeah. Interesting.
organizing office, uh
Wow. Yeah,
I
part of
mean,
this guy's morning routine is work. That's interesting.
review and
Um,
respond to emails,
yeah.
evaluate assignments,
I mean, the good
creative
news
writing.
is that he has organized office, file docs, and review mail, and he has only 5 minutes for that. So it's not long. What is this guy thinking? I'm assuming it's a guy. Sorry. I don't know if that's true, but um, it's like, I mean, this is so maybe this is a good way for me to say something right now,
Okay.
which is I think that one can be overwhelmed when when one hears of one other person's morning routine.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
not what I hope that's not what this episode is.
Yeah.
And actually, as I've been listening back on some of our episodes, of late, but also in the past, sometimes I get annoyed with myself where I'm like, people aren't going to do that. Just because you do that, people aren't going to do that. Like I got pretty annoyed with myself on the actually to do your to
You
dos
did? Oh
app.
man, I thought
Yes,
it
I
was
did.
so good and funny. I
It was
loved
a
it.
good app, but I guess I'm allowed to be upset with myself. I wasn't upset. I was just like, come on, man. Like there's other ways to live.
Live a little, dude. Well, I
Right.
think okay, so looking at this one
Mm-hmm.
makes me be like, if that's what my morning looked like, I wouldn't want to get up because
Okay.
because it looks
Yeah.
like a heavy yoke. Do you know what
Yep.
I mean? It
Yes.
feels like, and so I think there's I wanted to mention that on the to do episode, but I forgot. But with all these, establishing good routines and healthy routines, it's not meant to be a heavy yoke that you put on yourself that makes
Right.
your life bogged down. And it's actually supposed to make your life better and easier. Uh,
And
and
if it makes
so,
your life more stressful and worse, then don't do that. Right. So if doing
yeah,
something that I do makes you stressed out, then that's just not, then don't do it. Right. That's how I feel. So I'm hoping that as we get kind of into the practical ways to do this, Gomer's tips, Gomer's morning
yep,
tips or something like that, it is more
yeah.
loose and helpful for people. So I'll just say, like, there are certain things that I do, but as I was thinking about this episode, they fall into three categories. Can I just state those?
Oh, sure.
Um, so I just kept thinking about this off the rails thing where if I don't do it, I feel off the rails. So I came up with the three
Mm-hmm.
kind of broad things that I do in the morning are I get on track physically, I get on track mentally slash spiritually slash emotionally. Some like
Mm-hmm.
inside there. So there's the outside, there's the
Mm-hmm.
inside, and then I get on track productively as I look forward to my day.
Mm.
And I am
Nice.
pretty
Okay.
convinced that if people do those three things, whatever works in those three categories, their mornings and their days will be better.
Cool. So those are the compartments.
Mm-hmm.
What you do within those compartments may be tailor made to, dial in whatever's
Right.
best for you
Right.
personally.
Mm-hmm.
But that could fall into the everyone wakes up book
Right. Yep.
is when you wake up, you've got to get yourself physically ready for the day. You've got to get
Mm-hmm.
yourself mentally, spiritually,
Yep.
emotionally. Productively is interesting.
Yeah.
So,
I'm making an
because we all do
assumption there
some
that you
like
want to
in the
do something that day, right? And that you want to you want to
right.
be in control of that rather than that being in control of you and throwing you off and making you feel
Mm-hmm.
dizzy all day.
Oh yeah, structuring that,
Mm-hmm.
that's super good.
Yeah. Um. So I don't know if then I have the biggest no of what not to do in the morning. And you can probably guess what that is, but um.
Oh, I bet yeah. I mean, I'm let's go back to the crowds of sleepovers.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if we had smartphones then? Like, we've been listening to Coldplay. What do we
Uh-huh.
listen to all night? We listen to Parachutes by Coldplay all night
Right.
on
Sure.
repeat. Wake
Yep.
up. Could you imagine then if we had picked up our phones and just started scrolling? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, right?
That's the one. Is that it? Be, so for me, if I look at my phone beyond an app that's helpful for me in any of those things, so I do the Pray As You Go app
Mm-hmm.
as a part of my getting on track mentally or spiritually. If I'm looking at my
Yeah.
phone and people know what I mean, right? The scrolling, the news feeds, the social media stuff, the email, the
Mm-hmm.
texts, even. If I do that
Yeah.
before I've completed all three of those, or
Mm-hmm.
at the very least, the physical and the mental, spiritual one, then it derails my
Yeah.
whole, it derails the process for me. Like, especially if I wake up and I pick my phone up and I start, I mean, that will destroy the day
Mm.
for me.
Mm.
It's just
Yeah.
bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember when we first got Facebook
Mm-hmm.
iPhones,
Yep.
and I remember I used to wake up
Hmm.
and the first thing I would do is check Facebook.
Right.
First thing. This is
Yep.
2007, 8, not like right in there. The first thing I would do is check Facebook,
Uh-huh.
and I would listen to my chapaday.blogspot.com from Hack.
Right. I remember. Yep.
I,
This podcast that you
I
used to
loved,
have.
yeah, that was so good. Reading
Hmm.
a chapter of the Bible a day, that was so good. It's got a
Hmm.
great voice.
Oh yeah. Radio voice.
Uh, totally. Um, but I feel it like it was simpler even then though.
Oh yeah.
Social media, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Like there, it's taken a nosedive in the last 16 years.
A long, slow nosedive. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm totally with you. I'm if there was one, I think this would be in the top 5,
Hmm.
if not maybe top 1 Gomer's tip that we would give if anybody's listening to this is don't start the morning with your phone.
Right.
That I mean, maybe that's my number 1.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, if
At
there's one
least
thing I
top
would
5.
want people to remember, it would be that one. It's just not a good way to start your day. And I
Yep.
think to your point before, that is most of our morning routine is to start the day that way.
Hmm.
And it's just
You
it's
mean
bad.
was?
Well, I'm just saying us as a collective.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
All of the listeners and us, like the world, I think the world starts their day on their phone.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the worst way to start it. So the world is starting it the worst way possible.
Right. And so
Yeah.
even putting that back 10 minutes, 15
Uh-huh.
minutes, half an hour, if you can, a couple hours,
Yeah.
really, I'm not kidding people. You can take me up on this. I'll bet you
Hmm.
$100
Whoa.
that
Whoa,
if you
whoa.
do that, your day will be better. Like you
Mm,
just are more focused, more energized, not distracted. You're in control of your technology, your phone, your emotions in a different way than if you start with your phone.
yes. And by the way, I wasn't saying the world is wrong and we're right. I was just saying I was also wrong. And by changing this,
Yep.
it has been so much better. Like I've said this Gomer's tip a million times, but we got our phones and they're actually in another room. I charge
Right.
it in another room. Got
Yep.
a physical alarm clock. I mean, that I got years ago, but I actually use it every
Mm-hmm.
day.
It was one of your Gomer's
And
favorite things this past December was that
wow,
alarm
yeah,
clock. Yeah.
yep.
Um, so
Do it,
I
dudes,
think,
please.
yeah, I do think if you do one thing, it's that. But for me, the physical, mental slash spiritual slash emotional productivity stuff has been the next step for me.
Mm,
And so I have my own
okay.
systems there. I have my own physical stuff. So for physical for me is first, I mean, I get out of bed. Have you ever tried to jump out of bed?
Can't anymore. Be like, whoa, too many noises. Oh, I mean, I wait. Maybe that's up there with waking up, man. My neck hurts, my back hurts.
Yes,
Not
I
to
know.
complain, but it's just like, oh.
I'm feeling it. I slept real bad last night.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
but I still woke up at the time I
Yep.
said I was going to woke up, but sometimes you just do not feel like that. And so for me, physically, I get up, I put the leash on the dog, and I'm out for a walk. I think on
Fantastic.
the go for a walk episode, I said I can count on my two hands the amount of times I haven't done that since we got Chewy.
Mm, mm,
Um,
love it.
and we did a whole go for a walk thing, so we don't have to do that over. But I also do some heavier cardio during the morning, either a run or a bike every day of the week, because that gets my juices flowing. Um, and then speaking of coffee, I have a small amount of coffee and a protein rich breakfast.
Wow. Really?
So yeah,
What's your
so
protein rich breakfast?
oh man, it's kind of embarrassing. An
Oh,
egg, an egg if I feel motivated, and if not,
like scrambled, fried up.
yep, scramble an egg. If not, gotta go for those turkey slices, bro.
Oh yeah,
Just eat a
that's
bunch of turkey
you're
slices.
just constantly eating turkey slices, dude. That's like I picture you all the time just eating deli meat.
I go through a lot of deli meat.
Okay, let me. Hmm. Okay, I so we've this is off track just slightly, but we've been doing the kind of more all natural,
Hmm.
whole foods
Yeah.
for a while. I was thinking maybe you should buy some more non-processed meat. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
word
Yeah. No, it
for
is. I
you.
mean, that's probably a good idea. So just like Attila the Hun, like I'm just eating a giant turkey leg. Ah!
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, just oh gosh, they're listening to music. Hold on. Sorry. We've got it
Okay.
going through our Sonos.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's coming through. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
Take
Can
it
you
out of
hear it?
that speaker. Yeah.
Hold on. Studio. There we go. Every room in our house has Sonos. Okay,
Everyone. Yeah.
go from Attila
Everything,
the
right?
Hun. Attila the
Okay.
Hun.
So you're
Yeah.
like Attila the Hun with a giant turkey leg or chicken leg, like or a beef shank.
But
Yeah.
maybe well, it'd be cool to find more plant-based proteins. But
Yeah.
then just eat. What if you just made a bunch of chicken breasts or
Yeah. I
something?
do
Just
do that. But not as often as
lunch
I
meat.
should. You're right. You're right.
Lunch meat's so easy and delicious. I'm not trying to be a lunch meat blocker. Just
I also do like to put that scrambled egg on an English muffin, put some
oh
salsa on
yeah.
there, put some spinach or like even a avocado. So there are
Yum.
uh, uh, what's important to me in the morning is to not eat food that is going to make me crash right away. And so
Sure.
protein rich is kind of the way I go. And then I do drink a little bit of coffee, usually before or during that walk. I will have a coffee.
Really? So you
Yeah.
walk and talk or walk and have coffee?
It's a
I
neighborhood thing.
love
Lots
that.
of people are they've got a coffee in their hand, they're walking their dogs, we
Mm-hmm.
say hi to each other. The not passeggiata. Is that it?
Right. Passeggiata.
Passeggiata.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the other word, but it's that time.
Subier.
Yeah, Subier. Um if I'm out early enough, this morning I was out at 6. Nobody's
Mm.
out there and it's amazing. But
Oh,
I like it
so good.
probably just as much as if I can wave to my neighbors and our dogs can sniff each other's butts and stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Do you have a coffee mug or do you have like a Yeti sort of thing?
Yeah,
Like is it
like
like a coffee
a
cup?
no, like a travel mug thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
What if you had
So
Starbucks?
just
Like
like
a Starbucks cup. Like whenever I see somebody with a Starbucks cup at like 6 a.m., I'm like, well, you've already been to a store.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that
Especially
wouldn't
when you're
work for me.
at a hotel and somebody has that.
Oh
That's
yeah.
actually been us a bunch of times.
Oh, for
Uh,
sure. No
Hotel
judgment.
coffee sucks
Unless
usually.
it's from Starbucks. Sometimes you get to a motel and they've got Starbucks coffee there.
True. Yeah.
Hello. So those are my physical things, but what I'm saying, Nation, is that doesn't have to be yours. But I'm pretty convinced that that to get yourself moving physically and on track affects the rest of your day.
Yes. Okay. I'm with you there. I put up in my notes. I said, and I've said this before, but 99% of my best days start that way.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like a 30-minute walk.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I firmly believe that 30 minutes of restless sleep of just snoozing over and over again is less restful than 30 minutes of a nice brisk walk with your
I
dog
couldn't
or by
agree with you
yourself.
more. Yes.
You think it's one of those things that you think is going to be better to keep sleeping,
Uh-huh.
but rolling out of bed and doing that walk, getting your body moving, it's
I,
actually
I
it sets you up better.
I went through that this morning. It was 5:30. I wasn't sleeping well. And I was like, if I fell asleep now, I'd wake up more exhausted than if I
Yeah.
just woke up. You have to know thyself, right?
Mm-hmm.
When this is happening, but it was a situation where I was like weighing exactly what you're saying. If I slept longer, nope, I need to get up and I need to get outside.
Yep. Just
So
get
it
up.
was really helpful. Yep. The mentally, spiritually, emotionally thing is a little bit harder to explain. I have centering practices that I do. A lot of it is at my chair. I don't know if you listened to my last sermon yet, but there's a whole thing about my chair in my office that I
Have not
interact
yet.
with every morning. Um,
Okay.
and that I'm putting spiritually, mentally, and emotionally in there in one chunk because obviously we have a lot of different listeners. Spiritually is probably the most important thing for me, but it is mental and emotional. I mean, I've had a we had a rough weekend, but so this
Mm.
morning, Holly Hunter in broadcast news style, I just cried for a while. I
Yeah.
needed to get
Sorry, I
it
don't mean to
out.
laugh. I don't mean to laugh.
No, I referenced Holly Hunter so you would laugh, but
Okay.
like I love that practice she has in broadcast news where she just unplugs her phone and releases that emotional pressure that she needs to
Mm-hmm.
release.
Yep.
Um, that I engage in prayer and scripture and those kinds of things, but I would say whatever that is for folks, there needs to be some sort of emotional, mental, or spiritual launching into the day, or else you're neglecting a really important part of yourself.
Mm. Okay, let me say something in there about this because it's funny. We actually basically have a lot of the same, like these
Mm-hmm.
compartments resonate with me, and I do these same things.
Right.
Uh, the word came to me a couple years ago. You and I were talking about this kind of stuff, and we've always talked about quiet times.
Mm-hmm.
That was something we grew up in youth group. Cecil
Right.
always talked about having a quiet time, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember Cecil saying, you know, do a quiet time. Like you don't want to miss a quiet time, but and this is scripture, prayer,
Mm-hmm.
listening. But some people are morning people, some people are night people,
Right.
and I am more and more convinced that quiet time should be for everybody in the morning.
You've said this before, and it kind of
Yep.
surprised me because I
Yeah.
was like, when people say that, I'm like, I'm amazed that people can. Now, there is kind of when we talk about have a good evening, there are routines that you can do in the evening,
Oh
but
yeah.
I gotta have that. And I actually think quiet time, even though it's a dated term, is a pretty good
Yep.
word for it.
I think it's
You're
great.
you're spending time in solitude and silence by yourself with yourself and your God, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, it's I have a specific chair that I interact with myself and him around, and
Yep.
it's right here. I mean, I could probably turn this for you. There it is, right there, my
Oh,
chair.
I love it. Yeah.
Um, and it's in the morning because it
Well,
launches me and what gets me on those tracks.
yeah.
And
It's really
otherwise, I'm
good.
just unmoored. I'm like floating around. I
Yeah.
need something to uh
Yep.
I need a foundation under my feet.
Yep. The the word that came to me was you tune a guitar before you play it, not after you play it.
I mean, uh, you have said this to me before, and I just got goosebumps again. Of course you do.
Right?
Yes,
That's
of
that's when
course.
you otherwise you're playing with a guitar that's janky the whole time you're playing it. It's out of
Yep.
tune, you're not
Mm-hmm.
enjoying it. You
Yeah.
tune it before you play it, not after you play it.
Right.
And that's what made me that was like, and again, this is my felt experience, but when I started engaging in the morning, and
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean you don't do throughout the day.
Right.
There's time for
Oh, there's
examine at
constant
night.
tuning. Even during a
Oh
performance, people
yeah,
are
that's
tuning their
great.
guitar. You're right. You're tuning your bassoon during a
You're
performance.
absolutely right.
That has. But if you got out there on stage and were like didn't tune
Yep,
and
you're
just started
abs
playing, like doesn't make any sense.
makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
One of the there's two things that we do to spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aaron and I have prayed together almost every morning for 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it's simple, it's
Mm-hmm.
quick,
Yep.
but it's something that we don't miss. It's part of that
Mm.
tuning the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I mentioned I used to do Psalm 23. We've been doing This is the Day that the Lord has made.
Yep. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Uh, and we do that with the girls every morning now
Mm-hmm.
for a few months, and that's been really great. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to just read this. This is from this book, Liturgy of the Ordinary, by
Mm-hmm.
Tish Harrison Warren.
Yep.
She's our favorite New York Times person lately,
Okay.
right? What she's a priest or a I
She
can't
writes for
remember.
Christianity Today and New York Times. And is that an IVP book too, or no? That you're reading?
It is.
Published by the organization that I work for. Sweet.
Yeah, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the cover and on the
Mm-hmm.
back look like the best thing I've ever wanted to eat.
That does
She's a
not hurt
priest
to
in the
have that.
right in the Anglican Church.
Mm-hmm.
But this is she says this for the morning. We are marked from our first waking moment by an identity that is given to us by grace, an identity that is deeper and more real than
Mm.
any other identity we will don for that entire day.
Mm.
And I need to I read this because I need to remind myself every morning in my spiritual
Mm-hmm.
practice, in my tuning my guitar, of
Yes.
my, because remember is my word for the year,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I need to
Which I was
remember
thinking about that when I said it combats forgetfulness.
exactly.
And you need to remember
Exactly.
who you are, right?
Totally. So when she said, you will never don a more important identity than you do right now, which is, I am a child of God. I am not going to go out into the world for the rest of this day to try to get a better identity than that, to
Uh-huh.
try to gain approval from other people more than that.
Yep.
And when I truly set that up, again, that's 99% of my best days.
Right.
Start that way, remembering who I am, remembering who God is,
Yeah.
and that prioritization.
Yeah. I honestly feel like that's the most important thing besides don't look at your phone
Yep.
that we're gonna say in this episode. I mean, I can talk about getting on track productively. We already talked about the to-do list. All of my systems there really are so that I can feel like I have control of my day instead of being like, what the heck am I supposed to do? And
Yep.
feeling stressed and kind of frantic just to write it all down at the beginning of the day. I use my Clear Habit Journal and the Ivy Lee
Mm,
method and all that stuff that I talked about, clearly scheduling out when is going to happen, where. Now, people might think that sounds stringent, but it actually helps me be more flexible. I don't know if that makes any sense to people. I can
it
talk about
does.
that some other time, but knowing what's happening helps me be more flexible because then I'm not worried about like, what did I have to do it again? Can I be interrupted? Can I take more time for this or that? But uh I think what we're talking about, preparing ourselves emotionally, spiritually, mentally, is even more important than that.
Mm, yep. Because when you set yourself up like that,
Mm-hmm.
remembering who you are, you aren't going out for the rest of the day to try to find it.
Right.
You're going out grounded, tethered,
Mm-hmm.
all that
Yes.
stuff.
Yep.
Hey, I got a practical question for you. What is your thought on snooze buttons, dude?
Snooze. I have not snoozed probably for 15 years
Whoa,
because
dude.
here's what I think: the snooze button is a
Wow.
lie. The
You
devil is a
snooze, you
liar.
lose. Okay.
You snooze, you lose. The snooze button just teaches me to
Hmm.
procrastinate first thing in the morning.
Whoa. Okay.
And so when my alarm goes off, I'm up. The other thing about this, and this is just me, but I've also heard this from a lot of other people. If you don't snooze, you don't even need an alarm eventually. Your body learns to wake up, and it does
Dang.
not, you're not teaching it to go back to sleep after you've woken up. And so I not only have not used the snooze button for a long time, I
Yep.
hardly use an alarm. I just wake up.
Whoa. Okay, that's your next level on that one, dude.
Snooze is the
I
devil.
okay. Well, I've heard that thing where it shoot, now I can't remember. I remember listening to a podcast a while ago that it produces something in your limbic system where you're alerted,
Uh-huh.
and then you're because it's like hearing, it's an alarm, right?
Right.
It's gonna slap you instead of gently wake you.
So I do
And
have
so then
when I use an alarm, it's a gently waking alarm.
mm,
I'm never slapped
what?
awake. It's just one of
Okay.
these, it's one of these things on my phone that gently wakes you.
Hmm.
And I wish I could sing it to you right now, but I can't call it up in my mind. But it does not go honk, honk, honk.
Okay.
It starts very quiet and gets a little bit louder, and it's a nice little tune.
Mm, okay, maybe I need to get an alarm clock with that because I have the $5 Target plug-in red alarm that I've had for 15 years as a
Right.
clock on my studio desk, which is now next to our bed. It's not cool looking and it's just annoying and loud.
Right.
I have gotten myself to one snooze.
Hey, that's great.
So what my current routine
Mm-hmm.
is I have that set for one snooze, and then I have my alarm in the other room on my phone set
Okay.
for that's when I have to get up because I actually have to physically, literally get up to
So
turn it off.
can I walk back a little bit on my statement? What you're
Hmm.
talking about right there isn't what I was thinking about when you said, "What do you think of the snooze button?"
Hmm.
When I think of the snooze button, I think of you don't actually know how many times you're going to hit it.
Mm.
It could be, I mean, I know people that hit their snooze button 7, 8, 9, 10 times.
I've been there. No judgment. I've been there.
Me too. And I had to stop because so you actually have a snooze button routine. And I say that's as good as not snoozing at all.
I'm gonna try this though. Like in all in all the people that I've read talking about morning routines, many said you should wake up at the exact same time every day.
Right. It's
Now
hard to find an article that doesn't say that when you look up morning routine, doesn't it?
I know that doesn't jive with me because
Okay.
first of all, Sabbath mornings is a
Right.
totally different thing.
Sure.
But also, if I'm serving at church Sunday morning, I get up. That's the earliest I get up all week.
Yeah, I see that. Yep.
If I have concerts on a like Aaron so graciously on Friday mornings often lets me sleep in because I have a Thursday night concert.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And uh so I mean that's during the year. We're in the summer right now. But I do love the idea. It's just my schedule is kind of weird where I
Well,
work at
even what you
night.
just said, that the summer is different than the school year.
Well, in the summer is yeah. Now we have
Yeah.
a preteen that used to be a ultra morning person and now she wants to sleep in. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Tell me about it.
it's
There's just
so
one day
interesting.
when they stop waking up at 5 and they want to sleep till noon.
Okay.
They're like, how did
Hey,
that happen? I didn't even notice it.
you're right. I have one more practical tip because I know we're running long, but
Great.
I cannot believe we didn't say this already. This would
Mm.
be in those top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Make that bed, dude.
Make the bed. I want to do a whole app on make the bed. I think I even have that in our ideas list.
Okay. That's one that Aaron's mom taught me when I was in
Mm-hmm.
college.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow,
in
that's great.
college, yeah, all I had was that I had some baseball blanket I think I got from you guys as a hand me down. It was like
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You had a Grommen hand-me-down baseball blanket that you slept on in
yeah,
college at North Orchard, or
yeah.
was it in your dorm room?
No, in at North Orchard. I think in my dorm room I had like a sleeping bag. I don't even
You got
remember.
you moved into that dorm room so quickly. You were probably
I
like, "Wait a minute, I don't have a blanket."
was like, I forgot my stuff. No, I think I had a blanket, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure in college I had that.
Mm-hmm.
And so making my bed was super easy. I had a pillow, a
Mm-hmm.
sheet. I didn't even have a top sheet, and then I had
Right.
that Grommen
It's
hand
very
me down.
European of you. They don't do top sheets in Europe, so
Oh, really?
you're pretty cool.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, so I've been making my bed ever since then,
Mm.
and everybody should look up the. It's like a marine, you know, talks about making your bed is the most important thing you can ever do.
Yep.
It's the best way to start. You do something excellent and beautiful
Mm-hmm.
in the morning. You're setting yourself up, and you're envisioning the end of the day where you get to climb back into that thing, which is the whole point.
You're closing a chapter in your life, the night, and
Mm.
you're saying, "I'm not going back to that. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
into the day."
Yep.
And boy, you get to look at that bed and say, "I can't wait to get under those covers again."
Oh, totally. Watch some This Is Us. We've been finishing that finally.
Wow.
Can you believe it? We have 2 episodes left.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, exactly.
Congratulations.
Yep.
um and not for nothing, it makes your house look a lot better when your bed is made.
I'm so on board. Been 25 years now,
Yep.
and yeah, it looks crisp. It looks nice. It gives you something to look forward
Mm-hmm.
to. Climbing in that thing.
Yep.
Begin with the end in mind. Top 7, what the 7 habits, daily habits,
Yep.
all that stuff.
Make that bed. Don't look at your phone when you wake up. Do something physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and productive in the day. And I'm telling you what, I'll
So
bet
what?
you it makes your life. We'd love to hear back from people who try this kind of stuff. Your Gomer assignment this week is to start a better morning routine. All right,
Love it.
we should wrap this up. Talk about some things that are giving us life this week.
All right, let's clap.
Yep, I just got a little deedly doop.
Yeah, let's clap.
Okay,
1, 2, 3, clap,
clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
clap.
Ooh, but then it just jarred
Oh
again. Can
man.
we do it one more time?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, clap,
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
clap.
Okay, that's way better. All right,
That's
let's do
way better.
this.
Great.
All right, what's given us life now? I'm surprised that you remembered that I went first on last time because I can't keep any of our episodes
That's
straight.
also true.
What episodes are when?
And we don't even release them in the order that we record them. So that actually might not be true.
Eagle-eared listeners will hear that our I think episode 384 came out after 386 or something,
Oh, dang it.
and the date was
Oops.
way wrong. And we had texted about that, like, should we change that? And we're like, nah,
Nah,
it's fine.
forget it. Forget it.
Should I go first on this one too, or do you want to go
Sure,
first
dude.
on? Okay. Um, like I said, I had a hard weekend, and in fact, Jessica and I were out for a run on Saturday morning, having a difficult conversation.
Mm,
Rough stuff, bro. Sometimes that happens. It's just part
yeah.
of life, part of marriage, part of parenting. Um, but then we run on the same route 4 times a week, and we have been like we've talked about animals before, and they just love Jessica. They follow Jessica around. So we have been running by this nest of hawks, super high up
Whoa, cool.
in a tree.
Nice.
And we see these kind of parent hawks, and we saw them. They've got little baby hawks, and we can hear them. And so we're in the middle of this difficult conversation, and all of a sudden we see this hawk learning to fly.
Hmm.
The mother teaching this, well, I don't know, and I don't even know anything about hawks. Could be the father, I don't know, but I'm guessing it was the mother teaching the child how to fly. And this hawk is having the time of its friggin' life. It's going up in the sky, dive bombing, like putting itself like in a little bullet and dive bombing,
Whoa.
putting its wings out, going back up. And we just stopped and we just watched it for a while.
Oh.
Loving nature, loving being outside, loving being together, being able to talk about that instead of the other thing we were talking about, which we had to get back to eventually. But there was just this
Yeah.
moment of beauty, moment of nature, 4K moment,
Oh,
and
yep. A 3D, real D,
real
right?
D 4K
Yep.
moment that just brought us a moment of life when we both needed it. So, I mean, I guess thanks be to God, right? Like that we needed
Yeah.
that in that exact moment. And because we've been consistent in our running, we're able to kind of watch these things change, the seasons change, not only, but also animals like grow up. It was just this really cool moment.
Oh,
And I was like,
man.
right away, get my get my notes app out, punch it in, hawk
Yeah.
dive bombing. I just wanted to tell people
Oh,
about that.
that's so beautiful, dude. And you're making me so excited to get out to that desert climate and the
Mm.
smells and the dryness. I'm heading out there next week, and I'm so or like in 10 days, something like that. Oh,
And what
mm.
about the sleepover?
Oh yeah, we got that cool sleepover with that cool hike, dude. Oh, and we can try that sandwich place.
Oh yeah, you already
Gotta try.
told me that you're thinking about what sandwiches we're gonna eat.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll pick up the sandwiches the day before with the dressing on the side, and we can eat those at the top of the mountain when we get up
Oh
there.
wow. Oh
But I'm
wow.
trying to think of what restaurants because there's so many good ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. But I'm gonna trust you in that. I mean, I wherever you take me, I'm gonna love it.
Sweet. Oh, it's just great. Will you try
Uh,
a Deschutes ale?
sure, just for you, I'll try an ale.
Okay, I have one super quick life-giving thing that
Uh-huh.
I've been enjoying. Okay, so we used to love Chipotle all the time,
Mm.
and then stopped going for quite a while
Yeah,
on the regular, just where like proximity where we lived,
sure.
and now I'm totally back. I love it.
Wow,
I know it gives that.
Chipotle's back, baby, for
Oh yeah.
Anthony.
Well, they built one like 2 miles from our house.
Well, that
I mean,
helps.
it is dream come true for 2007 Anthony to live less than 2 miles from a Chipotle.
Right.
Now, they recently put out this thing called Chicken Al Pastor.
Which I've tried. What do you think?
Oh, you try. Oh, so that's my lived experience.
My
My
story.
my story, like this is my taste buds, and they tickle my taste buds so good. I mean, I am addicted to Chicken Al Pastor from Chipotle. It's sweet, it's sweeter, it's spicy,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little smoky. I mean, I just pulled up the thing. It says the rich flavor of Chicken Al Pastor delivers the right amount of heat, balanced with a splash of pineapple, fresh lime, and cilantro.
Well,
Where fire meets flavor.
I've got news for you.
Yeah,
I love it too.
you do.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's got a new. It's a darker color. It's
Oh
kind of a
yeah.
richer sauce.
Yep. And
And
you gotta love a new item
yeah.
at a restaurant. Um,
Yep.
both. Oh, maybe both my boys now work at Outback Steakhouse, a very authentically Australian restaurant.
Right. That started, I think, in Tampa.
Right, exactly. I mean, if there's any restaurant that started in Tampa, it's Outback
Yeah.
Steakhouse.
Exactly.
Anyways, they have a new menu coming out on Friday. And so we're going
Oh,
in to sample the
nice.
wares.
Ooh. Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's great.
Um, I'm so happy. Chicken El Pastor, it's pretty good. I mean, it's
I,
good.
I love it, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. I
Mm,
can't wait.
yum.
I just had an apple and some string cheese for lunch, and and so like, and it's one of those scheduled things. We've been eating really well, and
Uh-huh.
I will do the bowl. I think I'll do the salad. Like,
Okay, if you have to.
no, I know. I mean, I'm trying. I need to get some things under control. So the
Yeah,
salad, but
that's
the
true. That's true. Okay.
pastor,
I don't
some
want to
rice and
discourage
beans.
you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I want the burrito, and I totally, but
Yeah.
we'll save that as a reward.
All right. Um, I'm excited about that. Lots of stuff bringing us life. Nation, as usual, if you would like to send us anything that's giving you life, we'll try it. I mean, if it's available to us, we'll try it.
We'll try.
We
What is that? Boar's head honey maple turkey? I'll try it. Jerk chicken, boar's head.
I mean, if it's deli meat related,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, Stevie's into that. There's a lot of ways to contact us. The best way is follow us on Instagram. Our link tree is in our bio there with all things Gomer related. You can call us on the Gomer phone. That number is
608-622-7669. That's 608 NAB Pony.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe or follow us on whatever app you're listening to right now. Thank you to Davis for our music, Jason and Eric for our graphics, Adam, our webmaster, and Annie, our social media guru. Thank you especially to our Gomertrons. They are the folks that subscribe to our second podcast, The Bonus Disc, on Patreon. That's not only the home of our monthly movie show, Perfect Movie, where we just covered Raiders of the Lost Ark, Speed, and the aforementioned broadcast news, but extra episodes like last month's Indiana Jones rankings, this month's conclusion to Steven's tour through the Star Trek Generation universe, plus summer movies in review, and much, much more, up to 4 per month, depending on what level you subscribe at. All that and more is at patreon.com/2gomers. We welcome your support and we thank you.
Sweet. And don't forget, we've got a Barbenheimer episode that we're about to record now.
That's attached to our Speed results show.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've agreed to talk about Speed for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then we got to talk about Barbie, Oppenheimer,
Yep.
and I would also like to talk about Mission: Impossible - Dead Reckoning in parentheses Part 1.
Wow, what a summer for movies. Oh my gosh.
Wow. So, not only is Chipotle back, but movies are back.
Dude, this rocks.
And also Taco Bell is back. All right. Great app.
Oh. Super fun, man. And remember, everybody, if we can wake up, get rested and refreshed, and get out there and win the day with all those practices, you can too.
Also, Burger King is back. And happy running.
All right, let's stop that. 1, 2, 3, stop. Burger King's back. What? What's that?
I freaking love Burger King right
Oh,
now.
well, I know we'll talk burgers, but
Yeah.
the kiss of smoke, the
that
kiss of
that
smoke on a
Whopper is.
Whopper.
I mean, it's good we're doing the burger battle because I'm torn right now.
Yeah, I know
Um,
the size of a Whopper too.
Size matters.
Size is nice.
Okay, I'm gonna pee real quick and then we can just jump right into this.
Great. All right. Yeah, I'm bouncing the other one.
Okay, I'll
be right
bounce it
back,
too.
Oh, don't forget to stop recording.
Bye, everybody.